So the evolved nest overall provides and shapes and actually maintains throughout life a biology of love. Now the opposite of that, unfortunately, is where we are. We're promoting biologies of fear. So this is the cycle of competitive detachment. It's trauma-inducing, and this is the pathway that the modern world has been taking. In this pathway, it's extreme social poverty. Now, I think the United States is an epitome, the best example for this pathway today, because we do not care for our babies. We do not care for our children very well. And so you can see, number one, developmentally inappropriate child rearing or child raising. And this is going to then plant feelings of scarcity. There's not enough. And insecurity that you carry forward because, number two, you're dysregulated in multiple ways. Psychologically, socially, biologically. You're underdeveloped in many ways. You have trauma built into your body, and you're threat reactive. You easily brace against life because your systems are not in the calm state. They weren't raised to be calm, they were raised to be fearful. And then number three, we have adults then who are not very well. They're sickly, and their social capacities are limited, and their morality is more exclusionary. Us against them. Because you didn't grow the cooperative, flexible attunement that is our heritage as well. And then these adults, number four, create a trauma-inducing culture that keeps the cycle going. The adults are distracted by their own dysregulation, they're overwhelmed, they're neglectful or over-controlling. They don't have the right balance for nurturing. And we can see then some of the results. This is now the other extreme. So I gave you the ideal. Now I'm giving you the extreme of the unnestedness. So when you're extremely unnested, the picture is showing you there a 3-year-old's brain. The one on the left side, the bigger one, is the normal range size, and the one to the right is a neglected 3-year-old, one who has not been touched or listened to or responded to. So what happens then when you're unnested, in the extreme case, is your stress response system doesn't work very well. It gets easily triggered, and then when that happens, the blood flow changes, draws away from your higher order thinking, mobilizes you to run or fight, and you can't think very well, and you're not going to be open-hearted or open-minded. And then your immune system is also affected, so you're going to be more easily stressed and sickly. Your endocrine system, like the oxytocin system, isn't going to work very well, so you don't want people to touch you so much. Your neurotransmitters, you're going to have fewer of them. They're not going to function very well. You're not going to be as intelligent. You're going to be more depressed. And your emotion systems are also dysregulated. So you can have these lesions or gaps in your brain systems from the early undercare and from early neglect or abuse. The corpus callosum joins the two halves of the brain. We know that boys have thinner corpus callosum to begin with, and with neglect, it's even worse. So that means that you're going to flip into different states more easily because they're not the coordination going on of integrating your brain hemispheres. So all these things can become malformed. Psychologically, what happens? You're going to distrust your own body because you signaled a need as a baby and nobody came. Nobody responded in the way you needed. It's like, oh, well, don't listen to that. No. So you're going to have an impaired sense of self because your self is grown by the positive relationships with others, your confident self. Instead, you're going to have more rigid self and just kind of not be as fully there. You will learn then to live against instead of with others, be oppositional. It's like, oh, well, that person's not as smart as I am or not as handsome as I am. You just kind of always judging yourself against others. You become socially disagreeable, opposing, or you withdraw. You're not really yourself. You learn the ways to be with others without your full spirit appearing. So again, I'm talking about the extremes here, and you distrust others. You kind of get cynical and you think, oh, those people, they're the ones who are the problem. So they make you feel uncomfortable. It's you, right? You externalize. And then your fear is guiding your life. Instead of love, you are always watching out for the safe place to be. You don't take the risks that your spirit would like to take. So you can, in a face-to-face situations, you can have a biology of fear that just protects you. And you can be in that mode against bracing against others or just fading away. I'm not here. And you can freeze, faint, appease others, just conform, give in. This is what authoritarians want. So authoritarian child raising is to not provide for the young so that you're going to be able to control the person, right? They're going to give in. So these are innate survival systems to keep us alive, but when you undercare for the baby, the young child, they get enhanced and become part of their personality. So in each situation, we can see that the bottom here at neuroception, we come to a situation and we decide very quickly, innately, subliminally, subconsciously, whether we feel safe or not. So that's a bottom-up shifting. If we feel unsafe, we go into the right side, we go in defense. And what does that look like? It's what I was just talking about. Fight or flight. I'm going to be immobilized. Going to hide. Frozen brain, that's my experience. High stress. Brain freezes, can't think. It's the animal in the headlights. And you can then, if this happened, if you were undercared for in early life, you can be habitually on the right side because you were triggered so often and things didn't grow properly. That's how you spend your life. Now, to understand this side is to be trauma-informed. You know that people get triggered because of whatever they experienced earlier, and so you avoid triggering them. We call that trauma-informed. Now, the other thing, before I go on, is top-down shifting. You can also shift to one side or the other based on the stories that you've been told, the stories you believe. So this could be, watch out, green people are dangerous. Your parents said that over and over and over. Oh, they're so dangerous. You see a green person, boom, you're over on the right side. So it really matters what stories you listen to, what stories we tell our children, what stories we immerse ourselves in, because it's shaping our intuitions, our understanding of how the world works. Now, if you feel safe in the moment, you go on the left side of the diagram. So this is where you're able to be fully attuned to the other person. You can engage, approach, you feel rewarded by being with others. And you can read them and you understand them, and you're open to the flexible attunement that is our heritage. Wellness-informed practices support the left side of the diagram. We know about the right. In the States, there's a lot of talk about trauma-informed, but it's really important now to shift the story to understand what wellness looks like, what the wellness pathway is. So our wellness-promoting heritage is this cycle, a cycle of connected, cooperative companionship. And in this cycle, you provide the evolved nest, nested companionship care, all the components I told you, and probably more. And then you'd build a healthy psychosocial neurobiology. This then leads to adults who are well and wise, compassionate. And then they build a community that meets basic needs, fosters respectful relations, and in the center, with the earth in mind. So you don't go out and cut down a forest for something. No, you understand that those are living beings, right? So you have a sense of the livingness, the sentience, the spirit-filled world. And you live in a way that's responsible and respectful. So this is our wellness-promoting heritage. This is the story I want us to return to. This is something that we can do wherever we are, whatever our workplace, wherever our expertise is in, whatever it is, we can take up this cycle. So if you're an early childhood person, you can look at what nestedness is and make sure that you're following that kind of support system. If you are a psychologist of adolescence, you can also apply the nest in your work. If you're a teacher, make sure your classroom is supportive in nestedness. If you're an adult, family member, an elder, you can understand that elderhood's really important, and you share your wisdom with others. And wherever you are, in whatever walk of life, you can promote safety in others. You approach them with love and kindness, not with things that make them go into a bracing mode.